You're a disappointment to the society. You're a disappointment to your family, and most of all, you're a disappointment. You're a disappointment to your God. Go crawl into a ditch. Go crawl into a ditch and leave the rest of civilized society alone. You degenerate. So,
let me just hit record. How you been doing?
I'm okay. How have you been?
I've been doing swell, cannot complain. So,
Cool.
I just thought of one thing. This actually might be useful to you. You haven't really, at least I've seen, posted any of like the videos that you recorded on the live stream. So, if you want, we could like recap and everything on what's basically led up to this point. Would you like that?
I mean, we can recap a little bit if you want. I found one of your videos last year. I disagreed with some of your takes about, I guess, research on gay people and where it comes from. You responded to that, telling me why I'm wrong and whatever, and then I reached out to you for a discussion. I actually wanted to ask you, you did decline my first invitation, so I was curious as to the reason that you changed your mind.
Yeah, because with that video, there were just like so many things I wanted to tackle one at a time and everything. It was like I think it was like a year ago and everything, but there were just so many things that that I didn't like. I thought that were just, frankly, for lack of a better term, I'm not even trying to be passive aggressive or attack. I just found it stupid, continuously one at a time. Well, no, it's sequentially one after another, and just actually address those points and everything. And it would be a lot neater if it was in one video. And I just wanted to clear it up that way. And afterward, I thought that a lot of the things that were going on, I get bad faith vibes from you and everything, and I didn't want to do it then. But right now, I think it's just, you said that I misrepresented you and what you believed and everything. And I thought it'd be best to go over that, even if I don't believe it's going to be entirely good faith or whatever it might be. We're just going to try and figure out what each side wants or believes in everything and just go through that.
Yeah, what we're talking about, I apologize.
No, it's fine. So basically, you claimed that in my last two videos, or no, it was the last video
I'm
I
sorry.
made about you.
I hate to interrupt. Would you like to be on camera?
Me be on camera? No, I wouldn't want to be on camera. But
okay.
I mean, you can show
I
my
understand.
icon.
It's a little bit nerve-wracking, so no worries.
No, I just don't want anybody to see my face or like know anything about me. I enjoy being anonymous, you know. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay, no worries.
Yeah, so you just claimed that before I misrepresented you in my video where I made a video about you. And I just wanted to go through those things. I actually looked into it a bit more, and I think I'm not actually going to take back anything I said. I really think that looking into these things more and more, paying attention to what you said, I really think that I'm just going to double down on everything I said in the video, frankly. And we can go through that stuff if you want to.
I think I've got a decent summary. You think that my rhetoric is violent. You think that it is going to lead to, I suppose, some kind of stochastic terrorism or something, people acting out in real life, hurting people, lead to real world violence. Is that about the gist of it?
Yeah, well, I think that's one part of it, yeah, and I think it's harmful, and I don't think you would appreciate us doing anything similar to that, right?
You're right, I don't. But let's just talk about your rhetoric a little bit, because, you've pointed out that mine's violent. We've already got a whole video from you. Let's talk about the videos on your channel. I've noticed that a lot of them are about women.
But we're not going to just make it...
Well, I'd like to. So let's just pull up your channel real quick. I'd like to screen share as well, if you don't mind.
Yeah, we can. But this is about the videos that were made and everything, and talking about...
Right, it's about my rhetoric.
That I misrepresented you. Say what?
It's about my... Okay, so it's about my rhetoric. You feel that I'm being irresponsible.
We can do both.
So let's... So I figured you're a better example of responsible rhetoric, right?
Wait, what? Could you repeat that? Let me turn up the
You are
volume.
an example of better, responsible rhetoric that does not lead to violence. Is that correct?
I would claim that my rhetoric is much better, yeah.
Okay, great. So let's take a look at your channel. So we've got... Here, I'll screen share with you. We've got a lot of videos about women and girls. Just out of
Hmm.
curiosity, have you ever had a girlfriend?
Yeah.
Okay, do you have one now?
No.
No? Okay. What happened to your last relationship? Did it, just a
It's frankly
disagreement
none of your
or?
business.
Okay, yeah, okay, sorry, I didn't mean to pry. No worries. Okay, so let's take a look at one of these videos that kind of stuck out to me personally. Was what actually counts as. So I took a little
Hmm.
bit of a look at this, and I noticed here. Let me shrink my camera feed a little bit for the chat peoples. I noticed some things about it, so I just wanted to ask you a quick question, a
Hmm.
scenario, if you will. Let's say a woman is receiving death threats if she refuses sex with her boyfriend. Do you consider this?
I consider that a horrible. I don't know if I consider it's a horrible, vile
You
thing,
don't consider that.
but
So if I say, if you don't have sex with me right now, I'm going to kill you. That's not.
if you can physically overpower me and force me, and it is
That's not
through
what I said.
force, yeah.
I said I'm going to kill you if you do not have sex with me. Is that if you agree
Uh,
and then we have sex?
is it so? No, I think I need a little bit more context with that. Can you
Context.
actually
I'm
yeah, can you
saying.
actually is it just something you I could say that to you right now, but it doesn't mean I raped you. If I said that to you right now,
So let's
Alec
say.
Gunter, if you don't no, if I say right now, Alec Gunter, if you
Wow.
don't have sex with me, I'm going to kill you. Did
So
I just rape you? Did I just rape you?
let's say that a
Did I
man
just rape you?
confronts you. Let's say that a man
No, just
confronts you.
answer my question. Did I
Say
just
repeat
rape you?
it.
You need
Repeat it.
more to the situation.
Sure. Repeat it.
Did I just rape you by saying that?
Repeat it one more time. I apologize.
Let's say I say this right now to you in this exact situation we're having. If you don't have sex with me, I'm going to kill you, Alec Hunter. I'm not saying it actually right now, just to clarify. But hypothetically, if I said that to you right now, is that did I just rape
No,
you
but
right now, Alec Hunter?
if you and
See?
me.
So you just
Hold
said right
on.
now you don't.
Hold
You
on.
need more
Hold
to it.
on. That was not the
Mhm.
scenario I set up. You just changed it.
You
What I'm
just said
saying,
that
no,
as
what
a
I'm saying, hold
scenario,
on,
and I asked
hold
you
on,
more.
hold on.
What do you mean?
The scenario is, she decides instead of being killed, she is going to have sex with her boyfriend. Is that?
Does she actually think he can kill her?
Yeah.
Then yes.
Okay,
See,
great.
you
Was
just
that
needed to
so
give
hard,
more
man?
to it.
Why do we got to jump through all these hoops? Okay,
Because
great.
you were just being no, flat out said you weren't going to elaborate anymore, and then I gave you an exact
Oh my
answer,
god.
what you said verbatim to me, and then you're like, no, that's not
Okay, let's
funny.
try an easier one. A woman describes a situation in which she's having intercourse with a man. She decides she wants to stop and pulls away, but the man pulls her back in and continues what he's doing. Is he raping her?
If like, I guess that's yeah, that would be technically
Okay, so
speaking,
my
yeah, like,
question to you is, she says
mhm,
that in this video. She says
mhm.
she attempted to pull away from the man she was with. He pulled her back in and continued. Your claim in this video is that she was not in this scenario. Granted, I will grant you, to be completely charitable, you said that what he was doing was not good. You said that what he was doing was unhealthy for a relationship, whatever. But at no point did you acknowledge that what he did in that scenario was. Why
What
is that?
didn't she say that she was with him for months on end and that he raped her apparently for months on end? That's kind of strange. What
I'm
do you think
asking
about
you
that,
about
Alec
this
Hunter?
one situation that she
I'm not going
specifically brought
to,
up.
Alec Gunter, I'm not going to constantly answer your questions when you don't engage with anything I say, okay? So you have to
I'm
engage with
just
something
trying.
I
No,
say
this
too.
is about your
No,
rhetoric because you are You've already made a
it's
whole
not even
video
about
about my
my
rhetoric and how
rhetoric.
violent it
I
is.
haven't even been able
I
to
feel the
ask you a
need.
real
Hold on,
question yet.
hold
You're
on.
going on and on.
I feel the need to point
You're not
out
going to
that
bulldoze
your
this
rhetoric here
conversation, Alec
is
Gunter.
dangerous.
You're
Your
not even
rhetoric
going
here
to
is scary.
actually
Do
engage
you
with
feel that you're
anything I have
safe
to
around
say.
women? If we really have to, sit
What?
here and back and forth about, well, if I threaten a girl to have sex with me at gunpoint and then she agrees, it's not like technically or whatever. Like, but why is the
You
poo
just said
pooing?
what?
Why?
You just said it wasn't rape. You just said it wasn't rape.
No, what I said was
Yeah, I did.
the
I did
no.
flat out. I
I
said the
you
exact
changed the
situation you gave.
scenario. The natural. No,
I
I
didn't change
said
the
I.
situation.
Yes, you.
I didn't
Okay.
change it whatsoever. Alec
Okay.
Gunter, let me speak. You going to let me speak at all? You
Sure.
said you
Go
wanted to
ahead.
talk, but okay. I
I'm talking.
verbatim. This is what happened. You gave that situation. You said if the guy says to her, "If you don't have sex with me, I'm going to kill you." And that was it. I asked for more details and you refused. Then I flat out said that to you, and you said it wasn't rape. That's literally all that happened. People can go back and play the
You're
video and
no,
see it. Yes.
no. She
Yes.
specifically said here. Let's pull it up. I have it right here. I'm screen sharing.
Also, Alec
This
Gunter,
was kind of
you will you listen to this one thing, just in case you're going to cut me off. I'm not going to constantly answer your questions when you're not going to reciprocate back whatsoever. When I was asking questions, when I was trying to get anything out, you kept cutting me off and forcing me to answer more questions. That is very dishonest, and you can't even engage with that.
But what's dishonest? I'm pulling up your video.
What's
It's right
dishonest
here.
is you're not allowing it to be two-way. You're just saying, "Oh, there's going to be interrogation." I flat out even send the DMs like, "Hey, let's go back and forth just to make sure it's fair," you know. And you're like, "Okay." You flat out said, "Okay," you know, "Hey, we can do that." And now you're just refusing to even let me get anything in or ask you any questions. That's what was happening.
What would you like to add to what is being discussed at this point in time?
Well, one is I don't even care to discuss this because I
Why
want
not?
to
This
ask
is
you
your
a question
rhetoric.
about your. Well,
Yeah, you
okay,
only
how
want to
about
talk
this?
about mine.
Wait,
You don't
wait,
want to talk about how
wait, wait, wait.
irresponsible yours
Wait, wait,
is.
wait, wait, wait. We can
Just
do
mine.
both. Okay, how about this? You just asked me a question with that. Can I ask you a question about your rhetoric now?
Sure, buddy. I'm nothing if not fair.
So you claimed, correct me if I'm wrong whatsoever here. You claim that you're not in favor of violence unless it's self-defense, correct?
Yes,
And violence,
for the most part.
by
I'm sure
your
you could give me a
definition,
very hyper-specific situation.
you're going to let me finish, Alec Gunter? You're going to let me finish?
I was adding context, but go ahead.
Yeah, well, no, your context for what constitutes violence is having a harmful belief that people want violence upon you, right? That you even posted memes about that. Is that not what you believe?
If you are an out and open Nazi, what you are saying is, I want to kill you, enslave you, and put you in a camp.
No, I never said
That's
that.
a threat. That's a threat. If you are an out
Okay,
and
so
open
wait,
Nazi,
is Richard
that is a
Spencer a
threat.
Nazi?
Huh?
Is Richard Spencer a Nazi?
Richard Spencer, I have to refresh on him, probably. But
You don't even know Richard Spencer? And he's like the epitome of all Nazis. He's a white supremacist. He's flat out like, hey, deport black people.
Okay.
You don't know Richard Spencer?
Yeah, maybe someone should teach him a lesson.
Okay, so you're in favor of calling him a Nazi?
Yeah, probably.
Okay, how about this then? Could you give an example of who you would call today that people know of, like on social media, that you would call a Nazi?
Who's the Nazi twink? Nick Fuentes, the one who was in
Okay,
bed with
so Nick
Destiny.
Fuentes, you call him a Nazi, and you're saying people should hit Nazis, correct? People should punch them, correct?
I think that you should be afraid of being a Nazi.
Are you going to answer the question? You flat out say that all the time. People should hit
I think
Nazis,
it's fine
correct?
to punch Nazis. Yeah.
Okay,
I
then
think
why
that's
don't
fine.
you say people should punch him? It's fine for people to go out and attack him. You flat out said people should punch. You're saying right now, oh, I think it's okay. Before you said it was a should. People should punch Nazis. You've said that many times. Why don't you get the balls to say people should punch Nick Fuentes? You're not, because that's illegal. You're a coward. You can't say it. You're not actually willing to speak
I don't
up with
advocate.
your belief.
I mean, like,
You don't advocate for violence because it's against the law and will get you arrested. It's not practical.
Why are you defending Nazis, man? That's my question. What's the deal?
Why?
All right,
Well, it's
why
because
do you
you're
have such a boner for
dehumanizing
them?
everybody you disagree with and it's calling everybody you disagree
Would
with
you
a
give a
Nazi.
shit would you give a shit if Nick Fuentes got punched? Because I wouldn't. I think it was funny.
I would very much give a shit if you said, hey, people should punch Nazis. You label Nick Fuentes as a Nazi and he gets punched for not doing anything.
Who cares if
He did
somebody
not do
punches
anything.
him? Who gives a shit? The man wants to commit
I love
violence
how
against
you
others.
twisted
He's a
things
walking,
here, though.
talking
You're
threat to society.
People should punch
Who
Nazis.
cares?
You're always like, people should punch Nazis. People should punch Nazis. Now you're saying, well, I think I think that people, it's all right if I don't really care. It's all right. You're not willing to own up and say people should punch Nazis. You're not willing to even say that anymore. Buddy,
I've said
what
it's
happened
fine
to
to
you?
punch
You're
Nazis.
shriveling
It's
up.
fine to
You used
punch
to be a guy-
Nazis. Yes, it's fine.
Fine to punch people. Should
Nazis
punch
are a
Nazis.
walking, talking threat to society.
Should
They want to
people
kill
punch-
you.
No,
They
should-
want to
should people-
enslave you, and in some
Should
cases they want to rape you.
Should people punch Nazis? No, should people punch Nazis? Should
Yeah,
they?
I think people should punch Nazis. If there's an out and open Nazi
And why
that
don't
you
you
see
say people should punch Nick Fuentes? It's
brandishing the
exact same
Nazi
thing.
logo, or
You just
saying
called
that they're a
him
Nazi,
but you're not
yeah,
willing to say people
punch
should
him.
punch. Oh, so you're just advocating for violence now? That's advocating for
Nazis
violence.
advocate for violence. Can we agree on that at least? Do Nazis advocate for violence? Yes or no?
So you're fine with
You're so mad at me. You're so, oh my goodness. Oh, Alec, you're being such a pussy about my rhetoric. What about Nazis? Are they threatening violence? Are Nazis, answer the question, are Nazis threatening violence? Yes or no?
Depends on I haven't seen Nick
Oh, it
Fuentes
depends. Some Nazis don't, right?
Oh, I thought you said Richard Spencer. You didn't even know who Richard
Some
Spencer
Nazis
was,
don't,
or
right?
if he was
You
a
said
Nazi.
it depends. You said it depends. So it depends. So I would actually like to return to what we're talking about here because you're so poo-poo about my rhetoric. Let's see yours. So let's look at this video real quick, okay? Let's see what she says.
No, I'm happy that you
shut the f up for
you're
2 seconds.
endorsing
I remember
violence. You're
this
endorsing
moment where I
violence.
was
You
sitting
flat out did,
on
buddy.
top
You
and
endorse violence.
my
That's
face
illegal.
was turned away because
You just broke
he didn't want to look at my
the
face.
law, buddy.
I remember
You just flat out endorsed
realizing
violence.
that
Does that make you a Nazi now? You endorse violence against somebody.
You're so stupid. Nazis endorse violence, man. Self-defense.
So
violence
you're
in
Nazi then.
self-defense.
You just endorse violence
Violence
against
in
Nick
self-defense.
Fuentes. You just endorse violence against Nick
Dog.
Fuentes. You're a
Nazis
Nazi.
endorsed
By
it
your definition,
first.
You're a Nazi.
Nazis
You're a
endorsed
Nazi,
it
Nick
first. Okay, I don't give
Oh.
a shit. I don't care. Why are you defending Nazis?
When did he
Awful
endorse
suspicious.
violence against you? Verbatim. When did he endorse violence against you, buddy?
He wants me in a camp because I promote like
Did he
trans
say that?
care.
When did he say that? When did he say that?
Who? Which one? Nick Fuentes?
Nick Fuentes. You just said he said that.
It doesn't matter.
When did he
If
say
he's a
that?
Nazi,
Oh,
and
so
he's-
yeah,
I'm pretty sure he's an out and
Oh,
open
you
Nazi,
can't
right? That's
Well,
Nazi
I
ideology.
suppose he
What do the
probably
Nazis
said it. He
do?
probably said it.
You're literally sitting here
had a-
defending Nazis. That's rich, man. That's great. Good job.
I
You're
mean,
sitting
when
here
you're
defending
calling
Nazis.
when
You're like,
your
oh my gosh, the
definition of
Nazis.
Nazi
Oh,
is so
but we
flaky,
can't.
when
Oh,
you're
we can't
denying-
commit violence against the Nazis. Oh, the Nazis want us
You're
dead.
Alec Gunter, the problem is your definition of Nazi doesn't mean anything. So yeah, I will defend those people.
Nick
you call
Fuentes
Nazis.
is a self-proclaimed Nazi, isn't he?
When did he advocate for violence specifically?
When
You
he
made that
called
claim.
himself a Nazi. Yes?
No.
That's what Nazis want.
That's not how it works.
Oh, that's not what Nazis want then, right? Nazis don't want violence.
So
Nazis don't want
if I
violence,
call-
right?
Alec Gunter, if you call yourself
Do
a
Nazis? No,
communist-
you answer my question, big boy.
No,
Nazis
they
don't want violence,
don't,
right?
Period.
They don't.
because
Okay, they
who
don't.
you're
Nazis
calling-
don't want
who
violence.
you're
Got
calling a
it. Let's
Nazi,
move on.
me-
Let's move
No,
on.
no, we're not
Nazis don't want
moving on,
violence. Remnant777
No, we're
has
not
said it
moving on,
here
Alec Gunter.
on the record.
Oh, look at you
Nazis
trying
don't
to
want
bulldoze
violence.
your
Very
own-
good. Very
Look,
good.
Alec Gunter,
Let's move
I
on.
got what I wanted. Literally, I got what I wanted. I can leave right now if you don't actually engage with anything I say, and I can just take this as a victory.
I'm engaging perfectly. You
endorse
just said
violence.
Nazis don't want violence. That's
No,
great.
You're not engaging with me. You keep
That's
turning
great.
me off.
You said that.
You're not engaging with me.
You
No,
said Nazis don't
endorsed
want violence.
against Nick Fuentes. You're calling against violence against people who did nothing. He didn't do anything. When was the last time
Nazis
he did
want
a-
violence. I
So
hate to
did
break
he-
that to you.
what
If
is
you
the
say that you're a
definition of
Nazi,
violence?
you are
What is the
advocating for
definition of
violence by
violence?
default.
What is the definition of violence?
Displacing people against their will, killing people against their will, torturing people against. Well, violence in
Definition
self-defense
of-
is not
no, you
necessarily
dumbass.
against their will.
The definition of
Violence
violence
is inflicting pain.
The
Go ahead.
definition of violence is inflicting harm upon people via the use of physical force. He has not done anything violent.
Is violence ever
by
justified?
definition.
Is
You're
violence
changing
ever
the
justified?
definition of- when you're changing the definition of violence, no, it's not justified
Okay, so
because somebody
and
hurt
I'm
your
asking
feelings
you.
out
Is,
of
I'm asking you. Is violence ever justified?
in self-defense when it's not simply,
Okay, great.
oh,
Okay,
somebody
great.
says something
So
I
if-
disagree with. Oh,
So if somebody's threatening
Alec,
if somebody's threatening your existence, right? Violence is justified against them.
you threaten my existence. You threaten my existence by saying Christians should die.
I never said Christians should die. When did I say that?
I'm pretty sure you probably said it somewhere in the stream, according
Pull
to
up the
your
clip.
logic.
Pull it
That's
up.
literally what
No,
you
no,
said
no, no.
with
You
Nick
just
Fuentes.
accused me of a very specific quote. Pull it up.
Yes, I did. Because you
Okay, pull it
accused
up.
Nick
What,
Fuentes
show
and
me
he
where
can't
I said
substantiate
Christians
it.
should die. I have family who's
Well,
Christians. I
why
never
do
said that.
Why do I? Okay, let me ask you a question. Why do I have to show you?
Because you just accused me of that.
You just accused Nick Fuentes of wanting you dead. And
Because
you
he's a
didn't
Nazi!
substantiate that. Well,
The
you're
man's a
communist
Nazi!
And you hate Christians, and you want us
Communist.
dead.
Oh my God, you're so stupid.
That's literally what
Let's
you're
take a look
doing
at
to
somebody that you
everybody
follow
you
on here. I'd
disagree
like to
with.
take a look at this clip from Woman Propaganda, one of the people you follow on
the
Twitter.
decisions
And I'd like to know what you
affect
think
my
about
life.
this, if this is violent rhetoric to you.
No,
I
dude.
love
We need to
women
put women
propaganda.
back
It's
in
really
chains.
fun.
I know you do.
Women are out of control.
Yeah, that's why.
They're refusing to get married and have children.
No one's
I
having
mean,
kids
you're fine with
anymore.
following
The
his
men
song.
want to
He
have
literally
kids.
says that, oh,
Okay,
white
so
women,
he
it's better
says
for them to
put.
get raped.
So this guy's saying put women back in chains. What do you think about that?
I think it's kind of funny. You
Oh,
got
you
a
think it's
problem
funny?
with
It's
that?
fine when he does it, right?
Oh, it's fine when you laugh at people talking about
No, no,
how
no.
it's
This is
good for
about
white
you and the
women to
people
get
you
raped.
follow
You
and
laughed
endorse.
at,
But you're
yo,
so
Alec,
worried about my rhetoric, right? What about
okay,
when he
wait,
says
let's.
put women in chains?
I thought you, Alec Gunter, I thought you said comedy should be legal. What is fine to joke about? What is it
Okay,
fine to
it
joke
stops
about?
being comedy past a
It's a
certain
joke.
point. This guy, all he does
What
is talk
point?
about how much he wants women in
Alec
chains.
Gunter.
You can dress it
Alec
up in
Gunter.
comedy all you want, but that's pussy shit. That's
Alec
what
Gunter,
Nazis
we
love
need
to
to
do
talk.
is pussy shit.
Okay,
He just said put women
how
in
about this?
chains.
You say what your thoughts real quick,
Do you
and then I
agree?
want
Should we
to
put
ask
women
you a
in chains?
question
Should we
on
put
the.
should we put women in chains? In chains.
No, it was a joke.
It was a
What's wrong with
joke?
the joke?
Okay, let's see some of the replies. There's a
No,
reason
no,
that
no, Alec
ever.
Gunter.
There's a
When,
reason that.
what is it?
Wait, hold
What is
on. It
fun
was a
to
joke, right? It was a
What
joke.
is
So
it fun to
everybody
joke
here
about?
should know that. Everybody here should know that it was a joke,
Alec
and we're
Gunter,
all laughing.
what
Haha!
can we
No, we
joke
don't
about?
actually
Are
want
you
women in
the
chains. Let's take a
literally? You
look at the
said you weren't
replies,
the
shall we?
funny
You
police,
don't want
but
to
now
look at the
you are the
replies
funny
because you
police.
know that some people buy this, right?
Yeah,
Right? Yeah.
and I
Yeah.
don't. So
Oh,
what,
you
what's the
don't.
problem?
Okay, got it. You just think it's funny, but
Alec
like
Gunter.
other people do, right?
Alec Gunter, I'll answer one
So
more
this
question,
guy,
then I
so
want to
this
ask
guy,
you a
as a
question.
result of
Alec
his
Gunter,
words,
I
is
want to ask
is
you,
inflicting
Alec Gunter,
violence.
I'll
Correct?
answer
That's
one more
violent rhetoric.
question from. I'm going to answer one more question, then I'm going to ask you a question. All right?
Did
I'm
this
not going to
guy?
engage with you like this when you're just forcing the whole conversation to me.
So you don't agree with what this guy said?
Put women in chains if he meant it? No, I wouldn't.
Okay, there are a lot of comments here, I'm sure, that agree with him. What do you think of that?
Okay.
Do you think that his rhetoric is irresponsible?
I'm not responsible for what everybody says on the
Oh,
internet.
but you're responsible for what I say, though, right? You're like
No,
my
you're
daddy,
responsible.
right?
You're
Oh,
responsible.
okay.
What
Then
do you
shut
mean?
the fuck up and let me say what I'm going to say, because you do that for this guy. This
Then
it's fine when this guy
real
does it,
quick.
right? It's fine when he does, because you laugh at it, because I don't know if you agree with it or
But
not.
then let's
It seems like you
establish
do.
some clear parameters for what is acceptable comedy. Why don't we do that? You're saying that it's fine when you joke, but it's not fine when I joke or he jokes. Let's establish flat out rules for everybody what it is fine to joke about. Are you willing to do that, Alec Gunter? Let's make it clear what is acceptable and what isn't.
When you have people in the
Are,
comments, are you going to
actually
with this
engage
guy,
with what I just said? Do you
there are
want to
people
discuss
in the
what is
comments
acceptable
agreeing with
comedy?
this guy. You can call it a joke all you want, but there are people in the comments who agree with him and inflict violence on women as a result. Do you or do you not agree with that?
Yeah.
Okay, then he has engaged in violent rhetoric. The outcome was violent, right? But you follow him and you love what he does.
So, Alec Gunter, do you want to actually talk about what is fine to joke about? You said you weren't the funny police. You said that people should be allowed to joke. Let's talk about what people can and cannot joke about, okay? Are you fine with that?
That's fine. Let's take a look at something that you've joked about. New look at Ironheart premiering June 24th on Disney. Is that George Droid? Can you explain that one?
Is he George Droid?
What's the joke? I don't get it.
Is George Floyd? Wait, got brought back to life.
He does. I don't think he looks like George Floyd. I don't get it.
I don't know. It's just a joke. So you know the George.
Oh, it's just a
Droid
joke. Got it.
meme?
Huh?
Wait, am I inciting violence against George Floyd? He's already dead, bro. What do you mean?
But like, you're fine that he's dead. You're fine that a police officer kneeled on his neck for 9 minutes and killed him, right?
I mean,
Like
you're
Derek
fine
Chauvin
with
is
a
based for
Trump
that,
supporter.
right?
You're
No.
fine with,
You see, now you're deflecting. Answer the question. Are you fine that he's dead?
Yeah, because
Did he
you
deserve
hold
it?
me to unrealistic
deserve it?
standards you can't even fulfill
You're
yourself.
calling me violent. You're joking about a man who was
Yeah.
killed by the police. Did he deserve
According
it?
to your own standards, you are violent.
Did he deserve it?
Ooh.
George Floyd. Did he deserve
don't
to be
really
killed
care
by
about
Derek
that,
Chauvin
and I don't
because
know
he was
anything
found
about
in
that
a
stuff.
court of law? Huh? Say it again.
I don't really know anything about that.
Oh, you don't
situation. I
know.
don't
Wait,
care.
you don't know about George Floyd? Then why are you joking about him?
I mean, yeah, I've heard his name, but I don't care. Do you think I look into these things? I'm like, I got to have an
You're such a
opinion about
pussy.
this black guy.
You're such
How?
a
How am I
pussy.
a pussy?
Let's take a look
You're
at
the
this
one
one.
who's
Here,
not willing
tell me what you
Oh,
think
wait,
about this joke.
you keep
Tell me
on
what you
saying
think
that
about
you're
this joke.
no, no,
Sounds
no,
like a
no.
low
You
life
just
upbringing
said
for
you
you
just
to get into physical fights at a young age. This is N-word behavior. Civilized people know how to conduct themselves and to prevent fights. That is what fathers are for. I never thought as a kid because I live in a white town with low crime kids who had both parents. We are civilized. Is this really the cope blacks tell themselves for living in a city they destroyed and made violent? What, can you explain that joke? I don't find that funny.
Where? I'm not even looking at your stream, buddy.
I am sharing screen for you.
You sharing screen on Twitter. I don't want to go on your stream.
My apologies. I meant to share screen with you.
Thank you. Oh, it's all good. Let me see.
Please, by all means, explain the joke.
Let me see. When was this even made? Everywhere. That was a couple of months ago. What was the even
Oh, so we're over that. We're over that. That was months ago. I'm a changed person now, right?
Replying to? The account is suspended. What was I even replying to?
What would make this? What context would make this acceptable to you?
Well, according to you, jokes are fine, bro.
Okay, what's the joke?
Huh?
Explain the joke.
Comedy is subjective. You don't need a punchline.
No, I'm asking you to explain the joke.
Well, don't worry. I'm just a very unfunny person.
So this was just like a bad joke from you then?
Maybe. Would you have a problem with that? What would that mean if I made this joke? What would it mean if I say these things? What does it mean?
Well, to me, it sounds like you have to me, it sounds like you have a very legitimate problem with black people as like a principle. Is that true?
Well, as principle, oh no, I don't have anything problem with them. No, I love black people.
Okay, so then this was just like, just something that kind of came to your head. Maybe you were.
There's a black person, an admin. I love black people.
Okay, but the N-word behavior thing didn't, it didn't mean anything, right?
What
It's just like the one. It's not the hard N. It's just the one that people used to say.
What N-word?
The one that used. I'm not saying it, man.
There are a lot of words that start with the letter N.
You are so fucking disingenuous. I'd like to ask you.
You're not engaging with anything I said. You flat out said we're going to talk about what is acceptable comedy, and then you just went into more and more stuff. You're not engaging with anything I said, so why do I have to engage with anything
Let's see.
You said?
Racialized lynching terror.
When you're not...
According to the Equal Justice Initiative, more than 4,400 African Americans were lynched from 1877 to 1940. Do you think that that's violent?
I'm not engaging with what you're saying until we actually go to the part where
I know you're not, because you're not even engaging with what you're saying. You can't own it. You're allergic to accountability.
You said after that question, we're going to talk about comedy, and then you just went...
No accountability. We are talking about comedy. That was a joke, right?
What is acceptable comedy? What is acceptable comedy?
Not that. Because it's not comedy. That was not comedy. Just own it. Just say that. Just say that that was. Just own it and say that that was not comedy. Just say it.
You found rape funny. That's what I gotta say. You find rape funny. How is rape acceptable to joke about, Alec Gunter? How is rape acceptable to laugh at? When Hassan said that white Christian women should be... Well, no, he didn't say should. It's better for them to be... Which your chat actually said was based. You argued with your own chat member who said it was based in the clip. And
I said it was a spicy take. All I said was it was spicy.
I could just say that about...
I never said it was funny, man.
Propaganda. It's just a spicy take. Maybe
I think the overwhelming majority of what Hassan says and does is positive. I think that he's having a positive impact on the world, unlike you. Okay?
So
the best thing you can do for the world at this point is either change as a person and get better or disappear.
About white Christian women getting... I said that you're claiming that tons of people are fascists and you're labeling those people Nazis, and then you're saying it's fine to hit those people, which is you just saying flat out half of the population should be attacked.
Because they want to attack others.
Oh, because so you just
you don't think that Nazis want to attack other people, right? You've already said that Nazis aren't advocating for. You're a Nazi apologist. You are a Nazi apologist. You are.
You just call me
you would happily sit down and have brunch with a Nazi, right?
Well, I'd honestly sit down and have.
You know what I would do if I saw a Nazi in a bar with a swastika? I'd deck him in the face. That's what I would do.
Gotcha. So, do you think I'm a Nazi?
I think that you are giving Nazi. I don't know, but If the boot fits,
What
man.
about people who you don't know are Nazis? Should they be decked in the face? Should they be attacked for simply what they believe?
If you are an out and open Nazi, I am fine with people decking you in the face. You should be afraid to be in civil society. Yes.
Gotcha. So hypothetically, let's say that, no, honestly, I can't really find myself ever believing in things like putting people in camps or anything like that. What if I don't think even Nick Fuentes believes that stuff. I don't think Nick Fuentes is like in favor. He's never
You literally
said
called black
putting
people
in
uncivilized,
camps.
man.
Which
You
black
called it
people?
you called it N-word
Which
behavior.
black people? Which black people? There are plenty of black people.
You
who aren't
used
civilized,
one
and there are plenty of
example.
white people who
You
aren't
used
civilized.
one example
I
of
call you
kids fighting.
uncivilized. Doesn't mean it's because you're black.
You said the word N-word behavior, the phrase N-word behavior. That's what you said. It's
Wait,
right
that
here.
does sound funny. I want to find it real quick. Could you share the screen? That does sound funny.
I can't. My RAM. I need to download more RAM. But I have the tweet. I can send it to you. It's
Bro, you
literally
gotta
right
get
here.
more views.
I
so
know.
you can
It's so
upgrade
funny.
your RAM.
It's so funny. This joke that you made, right? Ha ha hoo hoo. I never thought as a kid because I live in a white town with low crime kids who had both parents we were civilized. What's the joke? Explain it. You can't. Explain the joke.
Well, I do have both parents. Do you have both parents?
What's the relevance?
Oh, wait. Do you not actually have both parents? Are you fatherless or something? Wait, actually, for real?
What's the relevance, man?
Oh, no way. Oh, I had no idea. That's
You're so
funny.
fucking stupid. Both of my parents are still happily married, you dipshit. I just said it was not relevant.
I'm sorry. You do give off fatherless vibes and all that.
You give off
Sorry.
motherless vibes. I
didn't
think
mean
your
to say
mother
that.
failed with you. I think your mother should have had an
well,
abortion.
She actually does love me very much. You know, she says
She
that I'm,
shouldn't. She
you
shouldn't.
know,
She should be ashamed of
cool.
herself. She should be
She says
ashamed of
that I'm
herself
even-
for
she
raising
says
such
that
a
I'm
spineless
handsome and
prick.
smart.
For raising such a spineless
that I'm very
slug,
handsome
a
and
cancer on the ass of society. She should be
That
ashamed.
is my
Your
zodiac
mother is a
sign.
horrific mother for
Wait, how'd
raising
you know
you.
that was my zodiac
Horrific
sign?
mother.
Bruh.
Horrific
How'd you
mother.
know that
She should be
my
ashamed of your
zodiac
ass. And if
sign's
she's
Cancer?
not, she's even worse.
Oh, that's sad. Oh, she's even worse than me? Oh, man.
So you think that my rhetoric is inciting violence. What do you think about the bomb threats that were called into Boston Children's Hospital as a result of Chaya Raichik saying that they were doing illegal surgeries on children? What do you think?
Why would you even assume I know any of that stuff?
Because you're so concerned with people's rhetoric and inciting violence, so you must know, right?
Who?
Chaya
What
Raichik,
bomb?
lives of TikTok.
So I was talking about you and not simply like I could pull
Me,
up tons
because
of rhetoric from
there's
other
so
left-wing
many
people.
examples of left-wing violence and extremism, right? Of people being killed as a
I
result
wanted
of
to
left-wing
talk about
extremism,
what you
right?
said, just like you said you wanted to talk
Your
about what I said. Now
concern,
you're
your
just
core
saying-
concern, just let me clarify something. Your core concern with my rhetoric is that I am inciting violence. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so
You
who has been
did.
hurt?
You
Who
flat
has
out
been
did.
hurt as
No,
a
you
result
didn't
of
even
my
just
rhetoric?
use
Who's been
rhetoric
hurt?
for violence. You
Who's been
flat
hurt?
out advocated
Who's been
for
hurt?
violence on this stream.
Who's been
You
hurt?
advocated for violence on this stream.
Who's been hurt?
Huh?
Who's been
People
hurt
showing
as a
up
result
at-
of my rhetoric? Who's been hurt?
People show up at Nick Fuentes' house. Yeah.
I'm asking you.
don't
No,
think that
you're
these things-
concerned with my rhetoric hurting people. Who's been hurt as a result of my rhetoric?
Okay, who's been hurt by my rhetoric?
By
Give
your
names?
specific, no, by you specifically, probably nobody. Okay, but when it comes to your side, my point is your
Well,
side
when it
is
comes
way
to
more
your
apt
rhetoric-
to incite violence. All the school shooters, right-wingers, Nazis, fascists, like almost all of them.
Well, they're actually black. What do you mean?
Thomas Matthew Crooks, registered Republican.
Majority of them are black. What do you mean? Are like whites,
What?
black people, white supremacists?
What? Hold on. Repeat what you just said. The majority of who are black?
School shooters. Don't
Can
you know
you
that?
can you
That's just the
substantiate
basic-
that? Substantiate that right now.
I don't have the source on hand right now, and I'm not.
Oh, you
gonna-
don't find
I'll
it.
show
I will
on
give you as
screen.
much time as you need. Substantiate that.
No, I'm too lazy to, but it's a fact.
I know
Sure.
you are, because you're wrong. You're lying. You're talking out your
Okay,
ass.
how
You've
about
never
this?
seen that
Wait,
statistic.
okay.
You are a liar.
I'll give it to you. Gunter, I'll give it to you. If you can give to me an instance where Nick Fuentes advocated for violence openly,
You're so spineless.
unironically,
You just made
I'll
a
give
claim
it
that
to
you can't back up. You just made a claim that you can't
Just like
back
you
up, and you're
did about Nick
you're
Fuentes.
slithering
What's the
away from
problem?
it like the little assworm that you are, right?
Well, just like you
Right?
did with Nick Fuentes. What's
Substantiate
the
your
problem?
claim. Most school shooters are black people, right? Substantiate it. Now.
I don't have to.
You don't have to. Oh, I can say whatever I
do.
want. Look at me, Remnant. I'm so smart. I make video essays with AI-generated bullshit slop. And I'm so concerned. I'm so concerned and pussified by Alec Gunter's violent rhetoric when he says that people deserve health care, when he says that trans people should be allowed to live the lives that they want to. It's so concerning. And that people who disagree are a blight on society. Yeah, I'm so bad, right?
No, nobody fears you. The problem is that you're trying to no. I'm against what you do as a principle, not because I fear you. You get 3,000 views of video.
What do you think of this tweet? Dude, you literally have more subscribers than me. You can't play that game anymore. Daddy Tectone recognized you. Alleged sex offender Daddy Tectone recognized you. Let's see this tweet from you.
But you wouldn't know this because you're a dumbass
The First Amendment, this is about porn, by the way.
This is about
hold on. This one I love. It's about them making porn. It's about this particular tweet from you is about them making porn illegal in Texas. It says, it's a reply to somebody who disagrees with it. You said, the First Amendment isn't designed to shield evil. The founding fathers would have hanged such people. Cry harder, freak. Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting. Do you find hanging people to be violent, Remnant?
It's not bad as long as they're pedophiles.
Do you find it violent?
I don't have a problem with that. Do you think that pedophiles shouldn't be hanged? Do you think that pedophiles should be protected?
Excuse me? When did I say pedophiles? This is about banning porn in Texas.
Oh, wait, which one?
The First Amendment isn't designed to shield evil.
Don't you know the whole context of that was the lolicons? It was children. That context was children. They're trying to ban child porn.
The context of this image, what you have presented to me. No, I'm not. What you've presented to me in reply to somebody who stated Texas banned porn. Yes,
minor.
But not minors, not porn of minors. Texas banned porn, right?
Not read it.
Are you or are you not inciting violence? Are you or do you like the founding fathers? Do you like the founding fathers? Do you find them cool and based on whatever? Okay. So they would have hanged people. Cool. Is that violent?
Yeah.
Okay, so you are advocating for violence, right?
No. So yes! I didn't advocate for violence against a specific person.
You like the founding fathers. You would have liked the founding fathers to hang these people, right?
Who here said that
you would have liked, okay, just say this. You would have liked the founding fathers to hang Packer Girl on Twitter. Is that correct?
I don't know who that person is.
The person you're replying to that you're calling a lolicon.
If they molest a kid, yeah. Absolutely.
They didn't. And that I know of. Do you have proof that they did? Do you have proof that they did?
Well, how do you know they didn't?
How do you know they did? You know, you're asking me to prove a negative.
You're the person who made claims that the Trump supporter, you didn't have evidence that he didn't abuse his kids. That's your logic, Alec Gunter. We don't know that he didn't.
I only said that as a point that people are fine with other. Dude, you've already stated that you are not. You don't give a shit. In fact, you are elated. You are elated when people that you don't like die, right? Like lolicons.
No.
Right?
Well, wait. Could you repeat that? Actually, I didn't hear what you said.
You are elated. There's a certain point, even if it's lolicon, pedophiles, whatever you want, that you advocate for violence against those people. Correct?
If people molest kids and they murder and all the rest, yeah.
Okay, so we're on the same page in that regard. Because when you have people
yours
who
is simply beliefs.
I've never touched a child in my life. I've never touched a child in my life.
I never said
I tell other people. But what if I were to tell other people that I am a pedophile? Would you advocate for violence against me?
Yeah.
Okay. That's why I advocate for violence against Nazis. It's self-defense.
Child, yeah.
Great.
Child,
That's how. Which a lot of Nazis, mind you, a disproportionate amount are pedophiles. Just so you know.
If you molested a kid, I wouldn't like you, Alec.
No. I've never touched a kid. I've never touched a kid. Never touched one. This is a situation. This hypothetical is that I have.
What hypothetical are you talking about?
This is a hypothetical that I have constructed to demonstrate to you that after a certain point, violence is justified. Something that you agree with me on, correct?
To murderers and rapists.
Okay. And Nazis advocate for violence against others. They want genocide. They want to open camps for people. They sometimes want to lesbians.
You want to know
that happened a lot.
Can I actually speak?
Huh?
Can I actually speak? Can I say something?
If you answer the
You're not
point,
letting me
sure.
speak.
Address the
Yeah,
point.
I'd love to answer the point if you let me speak. The difference between you and me when it comes to violence is I don't want violence against people for what they believe. It's for what they do.
Okay,
If
so
you
I
do violent,
believe.
bad things, yes,
Okay,
that is
so I
self-defense.
believe. So in this
Mhm,
hypothetical, and I'm not saying that I do this because I condemn pedophiles in all regards. Okay, I
mhm.
do. But let's say that I were a pedophile and I have never touched a kid in my life, never committed that crime. But I go on Twitter and I say, you know what? I think that it should be illegal for me to date and have sex with a 13-year-old. Do you
Legal?
advocate for yes? Do you advocate for violence against me? Yes or no?
I would advocate for you being locked up so that you can get a lot of help.
So no, no violence though.
Wait, you do know the definition of violence, right?
Technically, yes. If you take me and put me in a cage, that is violence. So fair
Technically.
enough. So fair enough. So
Of
then you
course,
do
after
it.
you've
So then
made
you
this
do advocate for, but then
definition
you do
so
advocate for
subjective,
violence
you wouldn't
against me,
even know
right?
what
You do
violence means
advocate for violence
anymore.
against me, right?
What?
You advocate for violence against me because you said, yes, take me against my will, put me in a cage and rehabilitate me. That's violence,
Against you
right?
personally? Wait, you're wait, I'm
In this
lost here.
in this hypothetical,
And that's hypothetical.
in this
Okay.
hypothetical, right?
Mhm.
Okay, so you advocate for violence against people for their ideas sometimes.
I'm a slow old man. Could you like legitimately? I'm lost here. Like I don't know what you mean.
Okay, let me try it slower. I know you're low IQ. The hypothetical
Thank you.
is such that I am a person who is attracted to children, but I have never touched a child. I've never committed that
Well, that's
crime.
good.
But I go onto Twitter and I say, I think it should be fine for me. I think it should be fine for anybody. Do you advocate for
People
violence
should
against
lock
me?
you
Yes
up.
or no?
People should lock you up. Yeah.
Okay, that's violence, right? We've agreed that's violence.
Mhm.
Okay, so then
Mhm.
you advocate for violence against people for their ideas, correct?
I'm not a free speech
Dog,
absolutist. What do you
just
mean?
say you do. You do. That's not wrong
Or
either.
beliefs?
Yes.
So the difference is, no, I'm not advocating for violence against people I disagree with. If you say things like,
Did you disagree with me that I
you
should be
should
allowed
be
to touch kids? Like in this hypothetical?
what?
In this
What are
hypothetical,
you
do you
saying?
disagree? Take me out of it. It's weird calling myself that. Take
Yeah, I
me out
would
of
agree.
it. This person who's
This
saying,
person.
this person who is
Mhm,
saying that they should be allowed to touch kids, right? This hypothetical
mhm.
person, you advocate for violence against them for that idea, correct?
I think legally, I wouldn't say mob
Legal.
rule.
I never said that either. I
Le-
think it should be illegal to take Nazis and
So
rehabilitate
wait.
them.
When you say people should punch Nazis in the face, you're saying the state or
Because right
random
now our
people?
legal
Because
framework allows for them to exist.
oh, so
Yeah.
that is the difference. You're in favor of mob rule. I'm in favor of the law.
No, in an
That's
ideal
the
system. Okay,
difference.
you're in favor of the law. Do you think that slavery should have been legal when it was? Would you have agreed with that?
No, I don't think
Okay, great. You would have fought
I would
against it,
agree
right?
with
You would have fought against it. You would have been on the side of the whatever it's called, Confederacy. I'm blanking.
Hmm?
The people who fucking shot the Confederacy,
You
right?
mean the union?
The Union. Thank you. Sorry.
There we
You
go.
would have been
No,
on the
don't worry.
Union
It's
side,
just
right?
stupid me who knows
You would have been
basic
on the
history and
Union
you
side,
don't.
right? Right? You would have been on the Union side?
Sure,
Okay, great. So you
sure.
would have been a Union boy. Okay, great. So then
Me with my little
then
union.
you
I
agree
actually have
that
a
even
chessboard
if it's
with the
legal,
union and
even if it's
Confederacy.
legalized
Mhm.
violence, you're against it, right?
Even if it's I am in favor of not being an animal and just taking the law into my own hands. If there was a flat out official war going
Okay,
on,
so
yes.
if there were a slave that you came across in 1700, right? You're in 1700,
Mm,
runaway slave. You come across him. He says, "I ran away from the plantation. I don't want to be a slave anymore." You're returning him, right?
no.
No, you're breaking the law.
Well, he can go wherever he wants to. He's a free man now by
Okay, so then you're
definition.
breaking the law, right?
Am I?
Legally speaking, he's not a free man. He is a runaway slave, and that's illegal. He needs to. If you see him and you don't report that, you're breaking the law.
Oh, now I gotta be like one of those infiltrators or something like that.
I'm asking you what you would do. This is not hard. I'm fine with breaking the law. Are
I'd
you?
put out a plate of warm milk for him and everything and be incredibly supportive.
And then you would report him.
I don't know.
You don't
maybe I
know. You
would
don't know
if
anything. Oh, look at
maybe
me. I'm
if
just a
I
little
maybe
birthday
if I
boy.
was
Oh,
drunk.
I don't really believe
Maybe
in
if I
anything.
wait,
Ooh,
let me
look at me.
respond.
I'm
Let me respond.
Remnant777. I make these
Wait,
awesome
wait. Let me
video
let me
essays where
respond.
I tell Alec Gunter
Let
that
me respond.
his rhetoric is violent, but I would turn in a runaway fucking slave because it's against the law not to.
Only well,
Right?
on a condition. On a condition. Can I speak?
Oh, sorry.
On a
No, I wouldn't do
condition.
that. I wouldn't do anything because I'm a little too scared. And so I'm going to
No,
make a little jab
could I
about, I'm going to
finish?
make a little hoo hoo ha ha hee hee about slavery, right?
I probably
Because I
would
can't
support if
answer
I
the
was
question.
drunk. Wait, no,
Because
no,
I
no,
can't
no.
answer the
Let
question.
me finish. I am finishing the question. You're letting me speak. You're taking away
Would
my
you
freedom of
turn the
speech.
slave in? Would you break the law and turn the slave in? Give me a
If
straight answer.
I was drunk watching people's videos on stream and I didn't have a job, like somebody named Alec Gunter, maybe then if I was Alec Gunter, I probably would turn him in. I think you would turn him in. That's what I think.
What's your day job?
None of your business, buddy.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm a registered nurse, so I do have a job. But that's beside the point. Would you turn the slave in or not?
If I was named Alec Gunter, I probably would. That's what I think.
You're such a pussy.
Wait, you're saying you
this.
wouldn't turn him in?
No!
I am debating that you. I think you would. I think you would, based off of what you've tweeted. You would. I bet you would, Alec Gunter. Wait.
You're deflecting because you can't answer the question.
It's called having fun, Alec Gunter. Lighten up, buddy.
I'm not having fun. You're a slimy, worthless bastard, and I want you gone. I want you to disappear. Okay? That's what I want. I think that society would be better without you. I don't advocate for violence against you. I don't think anybody should go. You know what I think? I think that you should improve as a person. You should improve as a person.
I was thinking about killing myself the other day.
That's what I think.
The fact that you said that I should go, I'm only going to live on longer just to spite you, Alec Gunter. I was going to kill myself, but now you gave me a reason to live with those words. Thank you, Alec Gunter. You gave me the reason to live right now. You have done a good thing today. So look, I got my clip that I wanted at the beginning. You advocating for violence.
So you would turn the slave in? Is that what I'm hearing? Because that's the legal thing to do. That's like the law.
So
you would. Okay, you wouldn't. So you would break the law, right? You would break the law. You would break the law. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay, so then you admit that regardless of the legal consequences, there are moral standards that you should have as a person, and sometimes it is morally acceptable and even your duty to break the law.
Why don't you
like in the case of slavery, right? Like in the case of slavery.
And advocate for violence, Alec Gunter. You're trying to justify it so hard right here, but you don't even have the balls that what you did actually advocate for violence.
Yeah, I don't have balls.
That.
You
did
filly-fallied about turning in a slave.
I didn't.
You couldn't answer it.
No,
you couldn't answer it. You're a racist for one. You're a transphobe. You're a homophobe. You're a misogynist. You're a rape apologist. Like why should I talk to you about anything? Why should I take your opinion seriously about anything? Does your black moderator know that what that tweet was? Should I send that to him?
Yeah, he probably knows. I've said a lot of worse things than that, buddy, and he's seen them. But who cares?
Yeah, who cares? Who cares that like my little ideas are, they're not jokes, but they are jokes, but they're not jokes,
Oh man, you talk
because I'm a pussy with no spine, so I have no position.
No, you actually did.
My positions sway like the wind.
Let me ask you a question. Am I a Nazi based off of everything I've said today?
I would say that, it might be a fair categorization. Sure.
Like, just answer the question, buddy. I am?
What do you think? Do you think you're a Nazi?
No, I don't think I am.
Okay, great. Then I don't think people should punch you.
Funny little guy.
As long as you're afraid of saying that you are a Nazi, I think it's fine for people not to punch you. Stay afraid.
Nick Fuentes says he's not a Nazi. Literally, he doesn't. He says he's
okay,
not
and as long as he's afraid of saying that, then people shouldn't punch him.
So you wouldn't. So wait, we're saying that we should attack Nazis, but one of the most popular Nazis.
As long as Nazis should be afraid of existing in society as Nazis, yes, they should be afraid of it.
Oh my goodness, I did not expect this, bro. I had sheets of paper preparing for these things. This was more interesting than I thought, bro.
Dog.
This is
you couldn't even answer if you would turn the slave in. You couldn't even defend the tweet that you made. You're not the one who looks good here. You're pathetic.
I look.
You can't even show your face. You can't attach a face. You gotta have that little helmet avatar, right? Oh, woe's me. I'm just a little guy, right?
Go to like Not Trump, the Republican meeting or whatever, dressed as Donald Trump, and then you're scared of like that little security guard or something. He was
Yeah,
just
I didn't
talking
want
to
to
you
fuck the
friendly, and
police.
you pissing yourself.
I didn't
Yeah,
want to fuck the
he was
police.
being nice to you, and you're pissing yourself. But you're saying I'm a coward, bro. People being nice to you scares you.
Yeah, because
Bro,
when the
were you
police
that?
are nice to you, you should try that in a police interrogation sometime. When they're really nice to you, you should answer all of their questions and see how that goes for you in court. Good
Well, I
point.
mean, you love the law and the
No,
child
I didn't
protective
say that I
services.
love the law. What the are you
You
talking
love
about?
child protective services. What do you mean? You said you should call them on people
I
for
think
just
that
saying the
I think
N-word.
that have okay. Do you agree that having a structure in government to protect children is good and
You're not
necessary?
answering the question, buddy. You love child
Dog,
protective
dog.
services.
I don't
You
even know
said
the
it
ins and outs
before.
of CPS. I think it's fine to call
And
CPS on
why would you
people.
advocate for
Like
people
if you
calling it
okay,
on
let me ask you this: if
falsely?
you legitimately think that I am abusing my child, should you call Child Protective Services and encourage other people to?
If I had evidence, it's not a
Okay.
feeling.
Yeah, it's not. You're right. What if I call a child a slur and I have like a child of my own?
That's not like worthy of calling child protective
What if I
services. Heck
what if
no.
I demean and belittle my own child and mess with his psyche?
Do you have evidence?
I have evidence on camera of a woman who did call like a 6-year-old the N-word for like rifling through a purse
Oh
or some
man,
shit.
that's tough, buddy.
And she
So
has her
any
own
evidence
kid. So
your
how do I
child
know that
is
she's not?
abused?
If
Any
she is
evidence your child
fine,
is
if she is fine with verbally
I
abusing
love how you
somebody else's
manage
kid, why should I
judgment
believe that
from me,
she's
but
not
you
fine
can't even
abusing?
substantiate
Okay, so
anything.
you're fine with her potentially being verbally abusive to her kid. I get it. No
I know you're
CPS.
fine with her getting killed and murdered.
What the are you talking about, man? I just you're
Um,
such a disingenuous slime fuck. Like you're a cancer, man. I don't know what to do with you. I don't.
what can I do with
I
somebody
wish you
who's
would improve as a person.
disingenuous?
I wish you would improve as a
What do I
person
do?
like I did.
Wait. If I feel as if I'm talking to someone disingenuous, what should I do, Alec?
Everything
What
that I
should
have
I do?
said has had a logical beginning and end. All you're
No,
doing is
it's not
slinging accusations
logical.
on me. Okay, tell me one thing I've said that's not logical.
You said that we don't know if certain people commit crime if you dislike them, but when I say that the
What?
exact
Wait,
same
wait, wait.
thing,
Hold
you're
on. I
demanding
said
evidence.
my words were, we don't know if certain people commit crime if we dislike them. Can somebody rewind the VOD
No,
and tell me when I said that and what that even fucking
your
means?
thing was you don't know if that Trump supporter abused his children. Did you not say that? You owned up to it before. Own up to it, a big
I
Alec
never
Gunter. Come
said
on.
that he should have been
You
killed.
said
If
that.
somebody listen, if
No,
somebody
you
offered
said that
me,
you don't know if he abused his children. There's no evidence that he didn't abuse his children.
did I say
Flawless
did I
logic
say
right
the
there.
words he should have been killed? What's his name again? He spelled it wrong on the
He's a very
firefighter
memorable
outfit,
guy.
which was
We
very
we
funny.
remember
Huh?
his name. He's very
Huh?
memorable. We both remember his name. Honestly, I can't even remember his name if I'm being honest.
I know because you don't actually give a shit about him, right?
Well, I'm not in favor of people randomly just getting shot
I don't give a
and
shit about him
killed.
either, so we're on the same page.
Well, the problem is I'm not slandering his name and saying, well, we don't know if he was a
Dog,
child molester
he
or abused his
literally.
children.
Want to pull up some of the shit that he said?
I'm sure they were all jokes because you're fine with
Oh, they
joking
were all
about
jokes.
attacking
They were all
African
jokes.
population.
Haha. It's a joke when
You
I like it.
No, verbatim. Alec Gunter, I actually have you on this. You said that he incited violence because he made a joke about running over street protesters. You said he wanted you dead. But now, when
He
you
probably
make
did.
jokes about other people, see, so when you make jokes though about attacking other people, now we're supposed to take that so lightly, right, Alec Gunter? Why is it
Let's see what he
fine for
said.
you to joke about violence, but not fine for him to joke about violence against you? Why do you cry so hard when he does it, but you're
Because
fine
these
with doing it
people
to
aren't
us?
doing anything wrong and he's saying to
But
kill
these
them.
people,
You see these
you're just a
activists.
hypocrite.
You see these
people. When was
activists.
the last time
You
I joked
see.
about killing people or hurting people I disagree with? None. You do though. That's what we're having this discussion about.
You
It's not
literally
about
made a
the
joke.
conservatives, the right, the
You
left. It's
literally
about
made a
you, Alec
joke
Gunter.
calling up. Dude, you think that like black people should be like displaced from society? Like you think that they're like inferior or some shit?
I do?
Your
Where did
tweets.
I say that?
Your tweets show that. Okay, you wouldn't own the tweet where you said
because
that,
it's
but
fine
you
to
did.
imply and assume things about people you disagree with, but when I do, it's misrepresenting.
Well, okay,
it's
what?
bad.
Okay. Are black people? You referred to them as blacks, by the way. Are the blacks, quote unquote? Are they more violent than white people?
Black people call themselves black, you dumbass. What do you mean? Have you never talked to a black person before?
I asked you a question, man.
You asked me a dumbass question.
Are black
that's for
people
sure.
inherently more violent
Are
than
black
white people? Are they
people-
or not?
What do the stats say? You tell
There it
me, Alec
is.
Gunter. Do you know?
Okay, so
the
is that from internal problems, like it's inherent to being black, like genetic? What do you think?
I think it's probably a mixture. What do you think,
Oh, okay,
buddy?
so it's a
No,
okay,
wait.
so it's at least a partial genetic component. Black people are just genetically inferior to white people. They're not as civilized, right?
No, I never said any of that. You
You
dumbass.
literally just said that there's a mix.
Yeah,
You're a white
there's a mix
supremacist,
to
man.
everybody committing crime and doing everything. What the do you mean?
Dog, you won't stand by any of your points. You are such a floundering, spineless,
Okay,
cancerous ass
Wait,
stain.
let me ask you.
I
Why do you
don't know
think black
why
people
you
commit
got
crime?
the
Let me ask you,
accolades that you
Why
did.
do you think black people commit more crime? Why do you think black people commit more crime? I'm curious.
It's a
about your
cultural
beliefs.
thing. It's related to their income. In lower income
Wait,
areas,
they
there's more
just say they have
crime.
a bad inferior culture. That's literally what you said. They have a
What did I
bad and
say?
inferior culture because of crime.
I did not say that they have a bad and inferior culture. When did I say that?
So,
When did I even imply
it's
that?
not bad that they commit more crime because of their culture. You literally attribute it to
It's
their
not. No,
culture.
I did not
And then
attribute it. I never even said the word culture.
I love you just did this to me, Alec. Let me finish this one thing, Alec Hunter, and I'll let you talk, okay? This is literally what you did. I said there's a mixture, and then you put words into my mouth and said you think that black people
You
are
think
inferior.
okay?
I never
Then let me
said
clarify.
that. You
Then let me
assumed that.
Then let me clarify. You
But then
think
when I did the exact same thing
I'm
about culture,
trying
you
to steel man
never
you.
said that. You never
I'm
said
trying to
that.
steel man
Okay.
you. You said,
No, yeah.
okay, that there. When I said it's genetic, right? You said it's a mixture. So there's at least a portion of it that is genetic, correct?
Like I think it's very complicated, but a small amount.
You're not denying
It's
it.
very, very,
You're not
very,
denying it.
very, very
You're not
small.
denying it, right?
Very, very, very small.
This is what I
Yes.
mean. You're a pussy. You're a pussy. You're spineless. You're a
No,
coward.
it's not. It's
You are a
called
coward.
being exact
You're a coward.
and actually
Because
not-
I've seen your YouTube channel.
Oh, I'm
It's
not-
pretty
I'm a
clean for
coward
the
for
most part.
not-
Your Twitter's
I'm
a
such
mess,
a
but
coward for not
you don't
taking
want your audience to
ultimatums that
see
you
that
made
you are a
up and
racist,
misrepresented
spineless
about
piece
me.
of shit. That's what you
All
don't
right,
want.
and
You
I'm
don't want
probably
them
a
to see
Nazi
that.
then too, right? I'm probably a Nazi.
Yeah,
then
if the
too. You're
boot
just
fits,
too
man. If
much-
the boot fits, sure.
Then why don't you advocate for violence?
That's probably
against
why
me
you
like a
defend them
big
so
boy?
hard. You probably are one. That's why you defend them so
Yeah,
hard.
maybe I am.
Oh
What
no!
if I
Somebody
am,
punched
Alec
Nick
Gunter?
Fuentes. Oh,
Let's say
boo hoo! Woe's
hypothetically
me.
I am right now. Alec Gunter, let's say you're right. Hypothetically, I'm a Nazi. What would you do? You wouldn't advocate for violence against me because you get kicked off of YouTube and you're a pussy and you get arrested, buddy. You're not actually willing to say or stand up to your
What can I
beliefs.
do
You'll
from
call me a
jail,
Nazi,
man?
But you're not
What can I
actually
do?
going to do
Why would I
anything
want to go to
about it.
jail? What can I do from
because you're
jail?
a coward who doesn't want to actually stand up for their beliefs.
I don't advocate for violence. What can like I've then again like
Yeah, you
I've told
did.
people
You
this as well.
openly
I
did.
think no.
You
I
openly
listen.
advocated for
I think
violence against Nick
okay
Fuentes.
when
You said
I
people
said
should
when
attack
I
him.
you can't stand
You
by
said
your
people
beliefs
should
either. You're
attack
trying to
Nick Fuentes.
reverse card me. You're doing a very complicated reverse card. Doing a reverse card. Okay, I get
I
it.
have everything
You're trying to call
recorded.
me
You said
spineless
that people
because
should attack
I
Nick
stand by the
Fuentes.
shit that I say. Punch
No, you
Nazis.
don't.
Punch Nazis. Go
Then say
punch them.
punch
That's
me.
fine.
Then say punch me.
That's
You called
fine.
me a Nazi
Go deck
just
them in
now.
the face. They
Nazi.
want you dead. They're a threat to you and your
said that. You
existence.
called
Punch
me a
them. That's
Nazi.
fine.
You
They should
called
be
me a
afraid
Nazi.
of calling
You just called
themselves
me a Nazi.
Nazis. Okay, if they're an out and
Alec
open
Gunter,
Nazi, yeah,
Alec
punch them in the
Gunter.
face.
Alec Gunter.
Okay, and I think
Alec
it's
Gunter.
fine to say that, and I think any
Yeah,
civilized
Alec
society
Gunter.
that would arrest me for saying that is not civilized.
We're going to go through a guided meditation. Take a breath. You called me a Nazi, correct? You just called me one.
I said if the boot fits. You're too fucking pussy to say that you are one.
You're too
so
afraid to actually.
As long
call me a
as you're
Nazi.
scared. Okay, here I'll do this for you, buddy. As long as you are too pussy to say that you are a Nazi, nobody should commit any violence against you.
Doesn't that fit my definition?
That's it.
What I said
That's
before.
it.
You're too scared.
None
to
of my
actually
audience,
give
if
a
any of my
definition
audience, if any of my
fascist
audience even inboxes you to ask you like an honest question, DM me, and I'll ban them. Nobody should interact with you in any way whatsoever. They should forget you exist after this conversation is over. And if they don't,
they're not gonna.
if they don't,
this
they're
statement.
banned.
They're gonna forget you exist because nobody watches you. But
Sure they don't. You know what? You're right.
you can't even rebuttal that. Oh man, you shouldn't throw stones in a glass house, my friend.
I never called. I literally called you more relevant than that Cheeto guy. Like I don't understand what the purpose
You
of
know
this
what
point
video
is.
you watched that you were debating and content? It was so funny. You were like, I don't know if we should watch Remnant's video. It'd be so funny if we just watched his. It was my video.
Yeah.
He reacted
Oh,
to,
sorry.
you
We're
dumbass.
going back to the comedy thing. Like I called a Cheeto more irrelevant than you because that's literally true. It's pathetic. He has
You
over
were
500,000
contemplating
subscribers,
watching
and
this
your
video just
videos,
to spite me
your
and have
videos,
fun.
your videos, at
Both of those are
40,000.
my video. His video is my video. He reacted to my video of you. Don't you know that, you dumbass? They're both
He's less
my
relevant than
videos.
you.
And they're both my videos.
He
Much more than you.
currently pulls in fewer views than you. If fewer people are watching him, he's less relevant. I don't even know why I'm having this discussion. I don't give a shit.
You're actually a dumbass for saying that, buddy. Because
Dog, you're a
he makes
pussy.
quite a
You
bit-
can't even own that you made the tweet that you did. You got to call it a joke. You got to hee ha ha about it. I'm just a little guy with glasses. You wouldn't punch a guy with glasses, would
I'm
you?
just not answering questions
No, don't
from a
worry.
guy
None of
who-
my audience is going to dox you. None of my audience is going to commit violence against you, okay? You know why?
Yeah,
Because
sure.
that's conservatives. That's their bread and butter, okay?
joined your
Conservatives
server.
conservatives love doing stochastic terrorism, but you won't waggle the finger at them, will you? Because it's not about the violence. This is about you hating me and the people that I advocate for, and my audience.
have-
You. You. You're a disappointment to the society. You're a disappointment to your family, and most of all, you're a disappointment. You're a disappointment to your God. Go crawl into a ditch. Go crawl into a ditch and leave the rest of civilized society alone. You degenerate. I'm done with them. Hey, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please be sure to hit the like button, subscribe if you want to see more, hit the notification bell to be notified when I upload. If you enjoy my content, you enjoy what I do, I really appreciate any financial help that I can get. Go to youtube.com/AlecGunterTTV/join. You got some awesome benefits, such as seeing early videos, awesome emotes that you can use in the comments of YouTube videos, and a sweet badge next to your name. So if that sounds interesting to you, I'd really appreciate if you join. It is cheaper than the cost of a blowjob from your mom. So with all that being said, thank you again for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.